Happy New Year.
It's the Dep Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show.
2023.
It's the Dep Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show.
2023.
Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show.
Welcome to the Dep Lewis Show, episode 14. This is your host, Dep Lewis, and today is Saturday, January 7th, 2023. Yes, you heard that right. It is a new year, so Happy New Year to you, listener. Thank you for starting off your new year with the Dep Lewis Show on this January 7th day. It's a great day to talk about some video games, and welcome to the podcast. So Happy New Year to you. This is episode 14. I want you to follow the Dep Lewis Show everywhere. We're going to get right into it. We're going to get down to business this year. That's what we're doing this year. We're getting right down to business. Follow the Dep Lewis Show everywhere. Like, subscribe, rate, comment, review, turn on notifications, and tell a friend. Email any questions or feedback you have to DepLewisShow@gmail.com. There's full episodes of Dep Lewis Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Patreon, and more on my Buzzsprout page. And clips of this show, this worldwide, global, expanding, epic journey through the video game universe are on YouTube and TikTok. So pretty cool. Check those clips out. Share those with a friend, and maybe they'll be interested in the full podcast. That is a goal there. All right. Let's talk about some notes from last show. Last show was the Game of the Year Spectacular for 2022. So I presented to you the best games of 2022, the top 10, and I ranked them in order. And just want to shout out to Splatoon 3 for being a great game. We're going to talk about that game some more in this first section as well. So there's a teaser for that. And just my afterthoughts from the Game of the Year discussions. The discussion with myself and you, the listener out there. Maybe this year I'll track my favorite games that I'm still playing from 2022 and 2023. So maybe next year I'll have, it won't probably be a top 10 list, but how many ever games I feel are worthy of making a list for, at the end of the year, hey, I'm still playing these games from last year and I really enjoyed them. So it'd be cool to see, maybe if none of those games actually make an impact, or I'm not still playing them for a significant amount of time, then I won't do it, but I'm just throwing it out there as something I'm thinking about. So I'm just keeping that in mind as a teaser for next year's Game of the Year. Might be some more, categories, or just a few other things I'll rank video game related, which is always fun to do. So I'll just be checking that out. I'm trying to think right now of the 2022 games, Vampire Survivors, Call of Duty, Splatoon 3. I'm still playing Horizon Forbidden West. So, there could be a lot of these that I'm still really liking in the 2023 year. So we will see. All right, so that was my note from last show. So we're going to get right into it. The funny part about this show today, I am not trying to sound rushed, and I'm not going to be rushed, but Buzzsprout's only allowing me 59 more minutes in my cycle right now to upload. So I think, I just have to pay a couple more dollars if I go over. But we're going to try to make this show concise for the new year. We usually like to hit over an hour, but we're going to try to hit right under an hour today. So that is the challenge for this show, and I hope it's still going to be a great one, and that is the intention here. So let's get into it, video gamers. All right, so what I've been playing this week, I just kind of teased that a little bit of, the games that I'm going to keep playing into from 2022 that I'm still going to be playing in 2023. But the first one there I want to mention is Splatoon 3. The new Splatfest is going on. It just started this weekend, so that started Friday, the 6th at 4 p.m. That's Pacific time. And it ends Sunday, January 8th, so that's tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific time. So I'm rocking the sour team. There's a spicy team. There's a sweet team. Everyone knows sour is the best team. They know spicy people are lame, and then the sweet people are tool bags. So nobody likes spicy or sweet team. Sour team is the best team, best flavor, best all around everything. So spicy and sweet, you're going down. I plan to see sour at the top of the mountaintop on Sunday, and we will see. The Splatfest, in case you don't know, they're special limited time events in Splatoon 3 where players choose to champion one of 3 causes. So I am championing the Sour Squad. And after you make your choice, you'll rep your team in Splatfest battles and on podcast. That one's added in by me, where the goal is to ink as much of the stage as you can without getting splatted too often. An ultimate winning side will be declared at the end of the Splatfest. So it's just basically a nice makeover on the game. Adds a little extra excitement and some new color to the game, and unlocks a few things, and it just makes it a little different and seems special. And it's fun to have the dynamic of the team thing going on. So please go play the Splatfest and play Splatoon 3, the best game of the year for 2022. So I plan on playing this some more since I'm recording this early on Saturday, so I have the rest of the day today to get some games in, and then half of the day tomorrow. So it should be a great time to get some games in. I started playing this late last night, and I love Splatoon 3, so it was very fun. So check out the Splatoon 3. The Splatfest is going on now, and we will be reporting back next week of who wins. So spoiler alert, hopefully it's going to be the Sour team. So we will see. All right, so multiplayer games are very fun. I've been getting into those again in 2022, and now it's carrying over to 2023. Another multiplayer game that I've been playing some is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I've made a weapon change in this game, and I feel like it's been helping me out a lot. I feel like I'm doing more damage. I feel like people are coming around corners, and they're getting got by me a lot quicker. And that's the AK, so I'm using the AK. I don't have a scope for it yet, but the iron sights are working out pretty well so far. And I haven't played any games with friends this week. I've just played, just a handful of matches here, trying out the new weapon. I'm trying to get used to it and try to keep my Call of Duty skills sharp. And it's been really fun, so I could see myself playing some more this week. I have a lot of friends playing this game still, so it'll be good to get some games in. And I also was watching, Nextlander play. There's a mode where you can have 3 players, and it's like an open world. It's PvP and PvE all in one, so there's people and there's enemies in the environment, and it's like a little bit of it looks like a map from an open world game and a Call of Duty game, so it looks like a pretty neat mode. I don't know if it's necessarily up my alley, but it looks like a cool option out there, and I could really see it being some people's like favorite mode from this game. And when I was watching them talk about this, they were talking about how convoluted the menus are in the Call of Duty game, and I agree with that. And that I think they should do a better job of their menus showing the different modes and making it a little bit easier to look at and find things. But that could just be a complaint from an old gamer. But the Call of Duty's been very fun. I'm going to continue playing some this week, and I just wanted to shout out that I've been playing that and keeping up with that. So that was kind of my early week multiplayer game, and now the later in the week I'm going to be playing some Splatoon 3. So I can see myself playing both of these next week, and I'll report back to you if I get a scope for my AK, or if I've gotten any better, or if I'm even playing these games at all next week. So I will let you know. So that's what I've been playing there. I've also been playing, this is the number 2 game of 2022 for the Dep Lewis Show, and it's Vampire Survivors. I'd like to say that I've converted Volnus to a Vampire Survivor, so now he is in the group of people playing this game, and he immediately starts just kicking my ass in every way of what he's doing. He immediately has to tell me how to unlock characters, which I have 2 copies of this game. In 1 copy of this game, I unlocked a character, and I don't know how I did it. And I come to find out that I just clicked on it randomly and paid 10 gold for that character and didn't know it. And then in my other copy, I was like, how the hell do I get that character? I'll never know how to do it again. I'm surprised I haven't unlocked her, because I unlocked her in my other one. And I was like, this seems weird that, I haven't gotten her yet, because I'm farther in my other on my Xbox profile. But all you do is pay some gold, and I have tons of gold in that game. And I was able to unlock all the characters. Not right away, but I think there's like 8 of them now. I think I have everyone, or I do have everyone that's available to me on that screen. I don't know if there's any like hidden characters or anything like that. I bet that's a possibility. So I've been using some of the new characters. I think Imelda is my favorite one. That's the one I unlocked the first time without knowing it. And so I've enjoyed using her again in this profile. It's been nice, because when I played her the first time, I was immediately like, oh, this is cool that she's different than Antonio. And I think I like it a little bit better. And I'm kind of gravitating back towards that now, having her as an option again. So really cool to beat all the characters. Volnus gets this game. He immediately is getting up to level 80. He's immediately completing the stage. He's immediately unlocking the characters. And I'm like, how you doing all this, man? And so I'm sitting there trying to get 30-minute runs, and I'm getting got at 29:53, 29:44. I probably had 3 runs where I was like really, really close to that 30 and wasn't getting it. And so I want to report today that I actually completed stage 4, the Gallo Tower, with my girl Imelda. And we got over 30 minutes, and the stage was complete. And we got kicked back to the menu. We got a lot of gold, and got a little check mark and a little tick mark next to Imelda on the Gallo Tower stage 4. So now I have a whole checklist of, it obviously wants you to complete stage 4 with every character you can. So I'm going to be trying to do some of that stuff going forward. And, I've been ranking my favorite levels from this game, not really on a formal list, but I've been talking about which one's my favorite. And every time I play a new level in this game, it's my favorite. And I'm going to say that's true with Gallo Tower. And let's see if Gallo Tower will maybe stay a favorite, since it's the first one I beat. So we'll see. I'll report back to you about that as well. And then maybe one day we'll have a formal ranking of favorite Vampire Survivors levels. I bet someone's done that already, but the Dep Lewis Show hasn't. So that'll be the official list for the world out there. So maybe we'll think about doing that. I heard someone talking about Vampire Survivors this week and talking about how similar to, or all the Castlevania influences it has, and this is just reminding me basically that maybe Castlevania is something I should check out more of. Seems like it would be something I like that I don't engage with a whole lot at the moment. But they were a little bit talking like, "Oh, we can't believe this game is happening. That Castlevania hasn't, sued their pants off or whatever." But I think a lot of games show their Castlevania influence and do things like the chicken on the floor, and I don't know. They were talking about some of like the holy water and just a lot of the looks and stuff. But people will gripe about anything, but I guess it's fair to, or definitely fair to say there's a lot of influence, and I don't know. I don't think they're stealing anything, but it's a really cool game. I actually recommended it to someone else today already, so we will see if I can convert another friend to the Vampire Survivor group of survivors. So we will see. I've unlocked all the characters that look available to me, and I think I just got my last positive upgrade. I've upgraded everything except for the curse, which a curse is there's 4 levels to that curse one, and it actually makes the enemy stronger. But I guess that's what I gotta do to progress. So that'll be the next one I'm working towards. So there's 4 little slots for that curse, and then I will have bought all the upgrades. So I wonder what happens at that point. This is kind of spoiler alert because I've listened to a lot of content on this game, but it seems like I don't know if there's more after that, but I think something will happen or something else will open up is my guess from kind of what I've heard. I haven't heard that directly, but I've heard this game will do some things to mess with you, so I think that could be something like that. So we will see. So Vampire Survivors is continuing to be a really, really great game into 2023. I was reading a little bit earlier, reading this morning that Poncel was saying, or the team was saying, that the mobile version was really rushed out, so they were kind of copping a plea for why the mobile version's not hitting so hard. That was actually what, I tried the mobile version for 14 seconds and didn't really like the movement in it. Ballness was saying he wanted to play Vampire Survivors, so he tried it out on mobile first, and he wasn't enjoying it there so much, and then he bought it on Steam and was like, oh my god, this is awesome. So hopefully they'll fix the mobile version in some way. I don't know really. It doesn't matter to me, but if it was a good version, maybe I would try it, but, I don't know. But it was a free version on mobile, so that's one thing to note, and it seems like that difference from free to $1.99 made a difference on the mobile, so I don't know, just check out. It seems like they're at least acknowledging it. So if you want to play the mobile version at some point, maybe they'll have a more acceptable version running on your mobile phone. Okay, so I've been playing a lot of good games. First 2 are multiplayer, Vampire Survivors. These are all 2022 games, and the last game I've been playing a good bit of this week is Horizon Forbidden West, another 2022 game. And I've been trying to check off things on the map, so I've actually just been, opening up the map and going to some of the waypoints and trying to find the unknown charger sites and the unknown campfires and collecting the signal lenses and bringing them back to that lady. So I've been enjoying the games within the game, so I haven't been trying just to push the mainline story, and that's been pretty fun in this game. I still think this is one of the best looking games out there. Everything in this game looks so cool. The water is always so impressive. The mountain vistas, and it's just really cool. And I was reading some more about this. There's some DLC coming to this game, so it seems like I'm playing this game at a great time. The Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores DLC will be released for the PS5 on April 19th, 2023, and this will not be released for PS4, so that's interesting. Their quote is to focus exclusively on the PlayStation 5 to reach the higher level of quality they were aiming for with the Burning Shores. So I don't know if that means it's never coming to PS4. I think we're going to be seeing more and more of these things that are exclusive to the new consoles, and I know that'll probably be sad or troublesome for some of the people with the older consoles, but I think it's just the way that these things are going to go. It's been a really long shift between these two generations already, so we're finally starting to see, I guess in 2023 is going to be the year of the changeover, it seems like. Maybe 2024, we need to start tracking, if there's any games being released on the old generations besides Madden and, just games you'd really expect. But, I was just talking to someone earlier about Star Wars Jedi Survivor. It looks like that's only coming to next, new gen in March. And I thought I had read, the old gen was coming out, a month later or something like that. But I might have been mixing up a game. But it doesn't appear that there's an old gen version of that game coming out. And that's pretty surprising because, Star Wars is hitting a really wide fan base and market. But, they were saying they wanted to design the game with the next gen specs in mind and the ability to use those to, enhance the game. So It seems like we're going to be seeing some switchovers this year. But Horizon Forbidden West is, they're definitely pushing the bar with graphics and just being a really fun open world game. And I'm just really excited. I've been really into this game lately. So I've been exploring the Forbidden West. It feels more dangerous when you go outside that gate, which is really cool. I've just ventured a little bit beyond there this morning, and I think I'm about to finally get to one of those tall neck guys. I think I just saw the signal on the map and I was pretty close, so I'm a little bit cautious of looking for that guy because he might be kind of scary, but I'm getting close to him. So I'm camped out at the campfire right outside there, and I'm going to roll up on him pretty soon here. So I'll report back to my Horizon Forbidden West findings. I can definitely see myself playing this some more this week and for the next coming weeks until some of these new releases start rolling in, which they're going to be rolling in pretty hot. So we're going to talk about that in the next section, but I just want to tell you that Horizon Forbidden West really rules, and it's a really, really fun game. So it can be a great 2022 game in 2023. So that's what I've been playing this week. Splatoon 3, go play that Splatfest. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, you can catch me on there all year. And I have my Xbox Live membership until March of 2024, so catch me on the Call of Duty until then. Catch me on Vampire Survivors, trying to unlock get the little check mark for every character on each level and try to beat these levels and get over 30 minutes. I do want to say that when I was playing, 30 minutes is a long time to be playing a level in a game, but it's just nice on the Xbox to be able to, you can pause this game. Playing Elden Ring, you can't pause, and, playing online multiplayer games, you can't pause. So being able to pause Vampire Survivors is nice. And you can go, heat up your coffee or whatever you're doing, take a quick little break or whatever, and you don't have to worry. You can come back and then just start owning all the monsters out there. So Vampire Survivors is awesome. That's all I want to say. And I've been playing Horizon Forbidden West. So that's what I've been playing this week. We're going to take a break in just a minute. In the next section, we're going to discuss some video games New Year's resolutions. I have a few of those. I don't know if I intend to keep them all, but it's just something I want to think about and bring up to you out there as the loyal listeners of the Dep Lewis Show. So maybe you can think about yours as well. And then we're going to talk about some upcoming releases for 2023. Since those are coming in very hot and very shortly, I want to make sure that we all have the release calendar straight and talk about some dates and what I'm interested in buying, what you'll be hearing me talk about, because there's a few of these that I'm definitely buying. So I want to go over those. So we're going to take a quick break to end this first section of the Dep Lewis Show, episode 14, and we're going to be right back. So please come back in just a minute. Welcome back to the best show that you'll ever know. This is the Dep Lewis Show, and this is the mid-section of episode 14, so welcome back. We're going to get into some video game New Year's resolutions since this is the new year of 2023. So happy New Year to you again out there. Hope it's been a great new year in these 7 days so far. So some of the New Year's resolutions for the Dep Lewis Show. I'm not going to hold myself to these too tightly, but these are video game things I'm going to consider. I'm going to take in to my video game mindset for 2023. So the first one you might have heard me talk about a little bit at the end of 2022, and that is to play some more survival horror games. And I need to learn how to say survival horror better. So I'm going to work on that in 2023. That's the one thing that I'll guarantee to you. And the second thing that I'll slightly guarantee is that I'm going to play some more of these games to determine if I'm really into them, because I think I am. Maybe play Last of Us Part 1 at some point, and maybe run through Part 2 again. That would be cool to do. I might have to buy the copy of The Last of Us, but we have a lot of these games coming out. The Callisto Protocol is already out, and I'm still considering playing that. Even though I haven't heard all the best things, it still looks really cool, and I keep thinking about it, so maybe I should purchase that, but hey, this is the resolution part, so we're not talking about that quite yet. Alright, some other resolutions. So play more survival horror games is one. Complete some games. 2022 wasn't a great year for me completing games. I got back into some multiplayer stuff, played some sports games, so I played Vampire Survivors, but I also did have some single player games that I didn't complete that I'm still playing, like Horizon Forbidden West, or maybe I'll get back into God of War Ragnarok at some point, or some more Elden Ring. So there's some other things out there. So hopefully I'll complete some games in 2023. That's a goal, and I'll be tracking those and letting you keep up with those with me. And let's see, I wrote play more of less games in 2023, so that's a pretty good concept. Not try to play everything in the world, but there are, last year I think I had 50 games that I was interested in on the calendar, and I played, maybe half of them for a little bit. So, maybe cut those numbers down a little bit and play some more of those games, or just kind of focus in more. But nothing I have to stick to, but maybe a good idea and something to focus on. So play more of less games in 2023 is another resolution. All right, I said make some resolution around buying new games. I think the only thing really here, I'm always, not trying to spend all my money on video games, but one thing I do kind of think is a cool idea is maybe to only start buying digital games. I like to look at, sales of games on like physical stores and check those out, and there's really no point to it. So I like trading games in, and I don't like having them like, I have them on a shelf, but it's not like they're just, taking up space. It's not really the most useful thing anymore. So maybe start buying digital games, because it's a kind of a forward-thinking thing. Maybe the next console, or obviously the next console, might not have a disc drive at all. So they gave you the option this gen to get a discless or a disc drive on your console, and I have no disc drive on my PS5, and I don't mind it at all. And on my Xbox, if I have an Xbox Series X, if I wanted to buy an S and I have physical games, I couldn't play them on there. So it's just something to think about, because I do like owning consoles and having easy ways to play them. So maybe just keep building up the digital library is the best move. So that's another thought for the resolution for the Dep Lewis Show. And that was it. So yeah, these are all just kind of fun things. Play more survival horror games, and learn to at least say survival horror a little bit better. Survival horror. A cool genre. So play some more of those. I need to complete some more games would be a great idea. Play more of less games in 2023. And then only buy digital games. So I think those are all smart options for the year. So, let me know what you think of them. Email the DepLewisShow@gmail.com. If you have any great resolutions or things I should think of, fire them over this way. But Happy New Year to you. Happy Video Game New Year. And we'll see. We'll see if 2023 can stack up to 2022. It's got a lot to contend with, because there are some great games. So let's get into some of the games coming out in 2023 that I'm tracking. I know we went over the release calendar in a previous episode, but we're going to focus in on some more stuff that I'm immediately interested in. So let's talk about that. After playing Vampire Survivors this week, I was thinking about Castlevania, since they were talking about the influences there on some show or podcast. And then it made me think of Dead Cells has that Castlevania DLC that's coming, and it's called, so I wanted to look up some information on that again. And it's called Return to Castlevania, and we don't have a date. It just says Q1 for 2023. So that's going to be a day one purchase for me whenever it comes out. So I wanted to include that here so I can put it on my radar, because I think Castlevania is a sleeper series that I could be into. So, and Dead Cells is a great game too. So I'll be reporting back on that. So that's the first thing I want to highlight. All right, the next game that I'll definitely be purchasing. Hold on one second. Need some coffee to talk about this one, because it's a great game. Fire Emblem Engage, and that's releasing on January 20th, 2023 for $59.99 on the Nintendo Switch. It's an exclusive. It's the next game in the Fire Emblem series. I hear it's a little bit of a departure from the last game, Three Houses, and they're saying it's a departure in a cool way or a good way. And I love Three Houses. It's one of my favorite games ever. So I have nothing but excitement going on for this Fire Emblem Engage. So I've even thought about taking off a day of my regular work to play this, but I think that's going a little far. But I am definitely excited for this game, and it's probably going to be I think it's going to be the first game that I purchase in the new year, so that's pretty cool too. So check out for the Fire Emblem on the 20th. I believe that's a Friday, and I need to go ahead and buy it, $59.99. Okay, January 27th, so shortly after, is the Dead Space remake. That's something that I'm really clocking for my survival horror resolution, and something I want to play. I don't know if I want to play it immediately at release, since it's so close to Fire Emblem, but I can play 2 games at one time. I'm not a noob, so we'll be seeing. This game is a multi-platform release for $69.99 on the 27th, so that's the Friday after Fire Emblem. So that's a pretty hard 2 weeks right there. You think the new year just started, and it's like, damn, here's some really killer games for late in January. So get your money together, get your money right. You got to buy these games, shell out these dollars. All right, so the next game even, so February 10th, so that's only barely a week after, is Hogwarts Legacy. That's a multi-platform release on February 10th, 2023 for $69.99. And I was hearing someone today saying how the whole Hogwarts or Harry Potter brand is trying to stay away from naming things with Harry Potter in the title, so it doesn't have to all tie back to him in like a story way or whatever, or reference him. So they were saying Hogwarts Legacy is like a really good trial at that, of trying to kind of rebrand the whole franchise. And they were saying that if they could go back in time, this was just their speculation whenever I was listening to that, the creators of Harry Potter would want to maybe have a different name for the book and kind of make it more of an overarching world rather than just because Hogwarts Legacy, a lot of people call it the Harry Potter game. So even myself, I think of it as a Harry Potter game. Like, hey, when's that Harry Potter game coming out? But it's called Hogwarts Legacy, and they were just kind of talking about a little bit of the strategy of that, and I thought that was interesting. So, because they were talking about like Fantastic Beasts, these are all kind of in the world, but doesn't have like Harry Potter, the Prisoner of Azkaban in the title or whatever. But Hogwarts Legacy is something I'm a Harry Potter fan, but I am a Harry Potter fan. I'm not a Hogwarts fan. You wouldn't say that. I'm a Harry Potter fan, but I don't know if I'm immediately going to be playing this. I just want to see what people are saying about it more so first, before putting out my hard-earned cash for it. But it looks really cool. It looks very promising, but we will see. Okay, this next game, I don't know how to pronounce it really. It's called, it might be THEATRHYTHM. That sounds most, makes sense to me right now. But it's like, that's close enough. THEATRHYTHM, Final Bar Line. I saw this in a direct last year that looked really cool, and I was interested in it back then. It actually comes out February 16th, 2023. I don't know if I'll be buying this. It's $49.99, just because there's other things to buy, but this is something that I'm going to have like on my wish list or just be checking into. It looks like it could be like a new style of game I haven't tried before that I might like, and it's a rhythm action game packed with 385 carefully selected music tracks across the whole Final Fantasy series. And I know I played some Final Fantasy, and I really like the music in those games. And I probably listened to soundtracks of Final Fantasy more than I played the game. So I think this could be right up my alley. And I've recently been thinking, I heard someone talking about Rhythm Heaven on Nintendo 3DS, and I was kind of looking at buying a copy of that. So I think getting into this rhythm genre could be kind of cool. And I never really tried it, so I don't know. This game looks cool. I don't know if it's something I'll buy day one, but I definitely am just checking for it. So. Has a weird name. It looks like it's THEATRHYTHM. Final Bar Line is the decipherable part of it that I can speak to you. But it looks cool. Check for it on February 16th. Okay, this next one is a definite purchase for me. I saw this in a direct last year, and I was immediately intrigued. And it's called Have a Nice Death, and this releases on Nintendo Switch, March 22nd, 2023, for $24.99. I believe it could release on other platforms, but this is one I definitely want to buy on the Switch. In this game, here's the back of the box info on it. In order to restore order, you'll have to grab your trusty scythe and show your employees who's boss. Discover and explore the darkly charming, procedurally generated departments of Death Inc., where you'll meet a diverse cast of memorable characters like your affable, pumpkin-headed assistant Pump Quinn, who is always willing to share the latest office gossip. Sharpen your skills in scythe through fast-paced hack-and-slash combat, utilizing over 30 unique weapons and spells you can find and upgrade to create devastating combinations. So this game looked really cool. It looks like a great roguelike hack and slash kind of game for the Switch, where you're going through rooms and getting power-ups and building your character up over time and unlocking things, and it just looks really cool. I like the aesthetic of it, and he's kind of like a little cute Grim Reaper guy, so it's not survival horror, but it has a little bit of those tones to it. So the theme of some game stuff I'm into might be continuing. That thread might be going on down. So we'll see. So that game looks cool. Have a Nice Death. I think this is going to be a great game, and it's going to be one that I recommend to some people to buy, like The Great Fallenness. I think this is something he should track as well. All right, the next game for the early part of the year that I'm tracking is the Resident Evil 4 Remake. This is going back to the resolution to play more survival horror. I've definitely played Resident Evil 4 back in the day. I've never beaten this game, but I've played it on multiple platforms because it's been released on almost every platform. But this is a next-gen remake, and Resident Evil has really been killing the remakes, and they do have remakes of 1, 2, and 3, and already out. And I already own 2 on 1, and I saw 3 was like $10. So maybe that should be a note for me to remember that maybe playing through these would be cool too. I could really survive a lot of horror this year. and maybe for the cheap. So we'll think about that. But Resident Evil 4 Remake, that game's looking really, really awesome. That is probably, if you look up ranking of best Resident Evil games, I'm assuming that's probably the top of most lists. But having a next gen version, definitely hasn't been polished up like it's going to be this time. So, you'll have Digital Foundry and shit looking at that game. It'll be pretty impressive. So, it's already a great game. We already know that, and just having the updated visuals and fidelity and all that kind of stuff would be sick. So, a lot of great stuff coming early in the year. Looks like, at least there's a handful of stuff there I need to be buying. So I got to get prepared. So, we're going to wrap up the midsection here. And that, we talked about our New Year's resolutions, our video game New Year's resolutions for the Dep Lewis Show. Play more survival horror games. Complete some games in general would be good. Play more of less games in the new year. And then only buy digital games. So I'm going to try to focus on those things to help improve my video gaming self. And hopefully, help out some content here on the Dep Lewis Show. So, and then we talked about some releases. Since the new video game releases are going to be coming in super hot for the new year, we got that. We're checking that Dead Cells Return to Castlevania DLC coming early, or not early, but coming sometime in quarter 1 of 2023. We got Fire Emblem Engage, going to be the first purchase for me on January 20th. We got Dead Space Remake January 27th. We got Hogwarts Legacy, aka the Harry Potter game, on February 10th. THEATRHYTHM Final Bar Line on 2/16, a rhythm game I might try to get into. And then we got Have a Nice Death on March 22nd, 2023. I'm going to be highly recommending that to people for $24.99. And then the Resident Evil 4 Remake on March 24th for $59.99. And then, then we get into April after that. May is going to be the new Zelda game. So this year is going to be great. That's all I got to say. So thank you for listening to the midsection of this show. We're going to take another quick break. And we're going to come back for the miscellaneous talk section. We got a few miscellaneouses at the beginning. And then we got some sports, and then we're going to get you out of here for another great episode of this show. So take another break, do whatever you need to do, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the final section of Dep Lewis Show, episode 14. This is the miscellaneous talk section, so we got a little bit of miscellaneous talk to start it, and then we got some sports to end it. So this is a new year. We got all these resolutions in the last section, these video game resolutions. I'm sure everyone out there is making some resolutions for themselves or whatever, or hearing people talk about them. And, last year one challenge I like to do each year is the Goodreads book challenge. So Goodreads is a platform, a website, an app that you can do your book tracking on that you read during the year. I have a friend that read over 100 books last year who was a monster. And so he's only trying to read 52 this year, but I've set a goal for 13. I think last year I might have read 11, so I thought 13 was a good goal. It's one for each month and then an additional book in there. And, I fell off a little bit on my book reading in 2022. I think I read, closer to 20 the prior year, so maybe I can step it back up, so we will see. I already have a nice list of books that I am ready to read, and I'm currently reading one. That's a Lost Metal. That's a Mistborn novel in the Mistborn saga by Brandon Sanderson. So that's the one I'm currently reading. So there's one towards the goal that I can knock out. I just, last year I purchased the secret books from Brandon Sanderson. There's going to be 4 secret books that come out this year. So it appears they'll be quarterly. And I was surprised with the first book was sent to my email on January 1st. Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. And that's secret book number 1. So I was surprised to see this come so early, but it's a great book to add to my list and my queue of things I need to read. So that's book number 2 I got in the tuck. So there's going to be 3 more of those quarterly. So there's actually 4 books there. So I'm up to 5, Lost Metal, and I got the 4 secrets, so 5. I have Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. I was gifted that book last year by a friend. So I have a nice hardcover copy of that book, and they said they think I'll really like it. And it being a video game book, I think I definitely will, so I can be reporting to that on the Dep Lewis Show. And then the last book I have in the queue is I'd Like to Play Alone, Please, don't forget the Please, by Tom Segura. So Tom Segura is a very funny comedian, Mr. YMH himself, and I bought his book last year, but I just haven't gotten around to reading it. So definitely wanted to support Tom, and I will support him by also reading the book in 2023 is my plan. So, coming to that, I got 7 in the tuck. I need to get up to 13, so I got to find 6 more books out there, which I can easily do because I think Sando has a really big one coming. at least one big one coming, and we will see. So if you like Goodreads, if you like reading some books, sign up for a Goodreads account. You can make a goal on there. You can track them. You can look up books. You can have friends on there, and it's really a cool app, and I like it. So check out Goodreads for the books. All right, some more miscellaneous talk. I got some comedy specials that I'm into and that I'm tracking. I rewatched a Stavros Halkias special, Live at the Lodge Room, and it came out 6 months ago, and I just watched it, and I don't know if I watched the entire thing or what, but I couldn't remember, so I started watching it again, and I was remembering some jokes, and it's a really, really great special. It's free on YouTube. It's at 4.4 million views as of January 2nd, so if you haven't seen it, or or you didn't pay attention the first time, pay attention and watch it. It's hilarious. And go follow Stavros. He's really blowing up out there, it seems like, on the internet and in the world. And having a free YouTube special of that quality is awesome. I'm loving all the comedians doing that these days. And then I want to highlight another comedian with a special coming out that's not quite going to be a free YouTube special. It's coming out on a popular platform called Netflix, and it's coming out January 10th, 2023. And that is Andrew Santino's comedy special called Cheeseburger. So I'll be interested to find out why it's called Cheeseburger. There's got to be a joke in there related to a cheeseburger. Got to be a call out to a cheeseburger. Or maybe they won't. Maybe that'll be the joke. So we will see. But Andrew Santino is a very funny podcast host and comedian. And I guess he'd want to be called a comedian first. There was no, hate there, Mr. Santino. But check out, I'm going to be checking out for that special on January 10th. So that is actually 7, 8, looks like Tuesday. So that's pretty awesome. So get someone's Netflix login while you can to watch that special coming out. So go check out Stavros and Santino. Stavros you can watch now. Santino you can watch next week. You'll be laughing your ass off and having a great time. All right, one thing that I'm not having a great time about is the official Dep Lewis Show NFL team, the Carolina Panthers, have been eliminated from playoff contention last week against the Bucs. Tom Brady and Mike Evans decimated the Panthers secondary for 3 touchdowns and just ripped our hearts out and ended the game and won the division and gave our season no purpose. But I read one thing that Steve Wilkes, or he can either tie or already has tied Matt Rule for wins in the season, and he did it with half the games in the season, so that's pretty impressive. And I'm on the Steve Wilkes bandwagon. I hope we hire him as the head coach. And it was just sad that game ended. It was really a heartbreaking game because the Panthers were jumped up early in control, 14-0, and then got crept on by the GOAT, by the best of all time. So whatever. I'll be hate watching Tom Brady and the Bucs in the playoffs mostly right now, and still excited for the playoffs some. But I'll have to be basically waiting next year for the see my Panthers really play some meaningful games. They play the Saints Sunday at 1. It's nothing really to play for besides not getting injured, and just ending on a positive note. So I do hope they win, and I'll be watching. I'll be watching it, and hope the Panthers can end on a win. That would be a positive thing. So also Damar Hamlin, positive thing, that player for the Bills who claps on the field, is speaking and talking to his team, and pretty amazing. I'm happy about that. And I was telling someone, I bet he'll play football again. So just pretty special. I guess they obviously have to just get him back to real normal, but it seems like he's healing up super quick and pretty amazing. So I think the Bills are going to be a wagon here in these playoffs. They got a lot of emotion, and now they got some real positive emotion on their side after something real negative. So you better watch out for the Buffalo Bills in the playoffs. Maybe we'll predict here that the Bills are going to win the Super Bowl. So that'll be the Dep Lewis Show prediction. I haven't really thought this out much, but we're going to be prisoners of the moment, and they're going to win the Super Bowl. So you heard it here first, and I'm probably not the only one predicting that, but that's what we're going to say. But the Panthers play the Saints Sunday, last game of the season. Please, God, no one get hurt, and let the Panthers win. It would be really cool. All right, the official NBA team of the Dep Lewis Show, the Atlanta Hawks. They've had a up and down week. They lost to Golden State Monday. They beat the Kings on Wednesday. They lost to the Lakers last night. The Lakers got their number this year. And then got to play the other LA team, the Clippers, tomorrow. So hopefully they'll get the dub and can be 500 on the week, because they've been, just under 500 all year. So at least being 500 is an improvement, and we will see. So Atlanta Hawks need to step it up. Need to go into the All-Star break hot would be my preference. So we will see. The Atlanta Braves, we're just in the depths of the winter break for baseball season, my favorite sport. And the official official sport of the Dep Lewis Show, the baseball, the Atlanta Braves. Season starts March 30th. Just looking forward 2023 at the Nationals, 105 Eastern, 105 p.m. Eastern. So March 30th, first game for the Braves, and I cannot be more excited. Then they play the Cards, so they go at the Cards in St. Louis. Then they're back home versus the Padres to start the season. So, what a start to the season, and I can't wait for it. And it's going to be a great year. It's going to be a great year of games, a great year of books, a great year of sports, and hopefully a great year of health and all those other kind of things out there. Especially thinking of the Damar Hamlin situation with his injury. I hope everyone can have a, some would say a fruitful 2023. So I just want to thank you for listening to this show as always. We talked about a few books, Goodreads. If you want a good book tracking app, use Goodreads. Check out some comedy specials. Stavros Halkias has a great one on YouTube for free. And Andrew Santino has one coming out on Netflix called Cheeseburger on January 10th, 2023, so check that out. The Panthers are playing the Saints in a meaningless game, so hopefully the Panthers are going to win, though, still. Shout out to Damar Hamlin for having a positive reaction to a horrible event and making it through that. That's awesome. Hopefully the Atlanta Hawks can get a win against the Clippers tomorrow, and then I'll have to look up what they're doing next week and what the challenge is there. And we're still just waiting on the baseball season to start, so thank you for listening to the Dep Lewis Show, episode 14. Hopefully this show's coming in at right 58 minutes for timing, so I don't have to pay Buzzsprout some extra money for my allowance on what I can upload. So we will see. Hopefully it was a great show, and I think it was, and thank you for listening. Please follow the Dep Lewis Show everywhere. Like, subscribe, rate, comment, review, turn on notifications, and tell a friend. Email any questions or feedback you have to DepLewisShow@gmail.com. Full episodes of this show, The Dep Lewis Show, are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Patreon, and more on my Buzzsprout page. And clips are on YouTube and TikTok. And just thank you for listening. It's going to be a great year of episodes. And going to be a great year for the video game. So I'll talk to you next week. And have a great week. Thanks.